Her smile cut through me, a blade sharper than any insult could ever be. "You're a good man," she murmured, her hand grazing his arm with a casual ease. "But you don't have that spark." Her boss let out a soft laugh and she echoed it, their amusement filling the room. I stood there, expressionless, unmoved. The gala's chandeliers cast flickering lights across the champagne glasses, their reflections mocking me. In one glass, I caught the image of her hand still resting on him, as if she'd forgotten the days when her fingers laced through mine, back when we were broke but rich with shared dreams. So I slipped away, no scene, no argument, just a quiet exit through a side door into the pouring rain. Outside, an old man crouched near the curb, soaked through, gripping a worn-out umbrella. I handed him mine. He looked up, his eyes sharp despite the downpour. "Kindness," he said, "always finds its way back." I didn't reply. At the time I thought it was just a small gesture, a human moment. I had no idea it was the beginning of something far bigger. For 10 years I thought we'd been building a life together, layering hopes and plans like stones in a shared foundation. She used to value my steadiness, my quiet strength, the very qualities she now scorned as flaws. When her company promoted her to executive assistant, her words changed. She started talking about ambition, status, and influence, terms that never used to echo in our home. Then came her boss, Daniel Mercer, a man who seemed to embody everything she now believed she deserved. Charm, power, a car worth more than our first house. The signs were subtle at first. Her phone always flipped over. Late-night calls she dismissed as strategy meetings. The faint scent of cologne clinging to her when she came home. A fragrance that wasn't mine. I didn't confront her. I watched, I waited, as people like me do, observing in silence. The truth became undeniable one evening when she returned with a red wine stain on her dress, claiming it came from a work dinner. But a receipt I found later in her purse told a different tale. 2 glasses of rose. He didn't drink red. I'd done my homework. That night, my pain hardened into determination. Revenge, I learned, isn't a flare of anger but a meticulous art, crafted with patience over time. I turned my focus to Daniel Mercer, CEO of a mid-sized tech firm that thrived on its glossy reputation and investor confidence. A family man with a wife, 2 kids, and a spotless public image. I started collecting pieces, whispers of falsified expense reports from an accountant, rumors of questionable dinners from HR. Alone, they were just gossip, but together, they wove a devastating story. At home, I played the part of the loyal husband. I made her coffee each morning, drove her to work every Monday, smiled when she posted Instagram photos tagged #workfamily, with him hovering in the background. Every smile was a calculated move. I needed an ally, and fate brought me back to the old man from that rainy night. I saw him again outside my office weeks later. He wasn't just a weathered stranger. He was a retired investigator, living off a modest pension, offering discreet services to those who knew where to look. He still carried my umbrella. "Told you kindness comes back," he said with a sly grin. And it did, this time in a sharp suit armed with a camera. Over 2 months we gathered evidence. Not the flashy kind that fills tabloids, but the quiet kind that ripples through corporate halls. Photos, text messages, financial records, the sort of proof that could dismantle a man whose life hinged on his reputation. The stage was set for the company's annual board review, where Mercer would face his investors. But first, a test run. That Monday, I drove her to work as usual, rain tapping against the windshield. She touched up her lipstick in the visor mirror, humming softly, no hint of guilt in her manner. In the lobby, she noticed someone sitting near the entrance. The old man, now dry, impeccably dressed, leafing through a folder. She didn't know him, but he met my gaze and gave a subtle nod. Her face paled, as if she sensed the air shift. "Who's that?" she asked, her voice straining for nonchalance. "Just someone I know," I said. "You'll see him again." The board meeting came that Friday, everything in place. The old man had sent an anonymous dossier to the company's compliance office, detailing Mercer's missteps, financial tricks, inflated bonuses, and an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, my wife. I knew how corporate sharks worked. They don't bargain, they devour. That evening, Mercer called an emergency staff meeting. She walked in expecting praise for her dedication. She came out 20 minutes later, her eyes hollow, hands trembling, her phone buzzing with ignored calls. He'd thrown her under the bus to save himself, denying everything, painting her as unstable, accusing her of forging receipts and manipulating him for a promotion. I watched her from across the parking lot, diminished in the rain, much like the old man had been. When she finally saw me, she froze, realizing I knew. I opened the car door, said nothing, and drove her home. The silence between us carried the weight of truth. 2 weeks later, Mercer stepped down, citing personal reasons. His wife filed for divorce, and his company's stock plummeted. As for her, she lost her job, her reputation shattered, her social circle gone. The life she'd chased slipped away. She asked why I wasn't angry. I told her anger fades, strategy lasts. Sometimes late at night she still offers apologies, saying she was confused, overwhelmed, misled. I listen, I nod. She doesn't know the house is no longer hers. The mortgage, the car, the savings, all quietly legally transferred to my name weeks before the gala. When she eventually leaves, she'll walk away with nothing but the memory of a man she thought too gentle, too undriven. But I was driven in ways she couldn't imagine. Last night I saw the old man again, outside the same gala, under the same rain. He smiled. "All debts settled," he said. "Almost," I replied. He chuckled, handing me back the umbrella I'd given him long ago. "You'll need this," he said. "A storm's coming." He might be right. But this time, I'm the one holding shelter.